Hello. We've watched Power of Kroll episodes 3 and 4, which weirdly is the sort of thing we do when I do. I don't know about Libby. When I'm not actually enjoying the Doctor Who story because I kind of want to get it over with. And that's how I feel about the Power of Kroll right now.
I did not enjoy it.
Libby did not enjoy it.
There were elements of it I quite enjoyed.
There were elements that she quite enjoyed. Like what, Lib?
Well, I thought the different factions were interesting.
Different factions were good. That's a very Robert Holmesian thing.
Although I have to say, still don't know who the Sons of Earth are.
Sons of Earth. We didn't see any representatives of Sons of Earth.
That's no good. Unless I see it, didn't happen.
Yeah. Tell, don't see.
Kroll was brilliant.
Kroll was bloody awful. Right, let's do that first.
Big octopus type thing.
So I would say that there is nothing intrinsically awful in this story apart from Kroll. And Kroll doesn't work on any level. So the tentacles are embarrassing.
They are.
They are flappy bits of tentacle nonsense.
I think they're old fireman's hoses.
Old hoses spread out, all flat and ironed, and then flapped about for comic effect. They were bad. Then the general model shot was terrible. And they even didn't get the sense of perspective right, because there were a couple of times where you could see that Kroll was supposed to be like miles and miles away, and then he was a bit closer, but he was still the same size, and it was awful. But what really made it, because Doctor Who can cope with that, you can cope with a poor effect in Doctor Who, but when the climactic battle at the refinery is so abysmally appalling because the refinery looks awful and Kroll looks awful, it just was too much. So that was terrible. And even Tom Baker couldn't save it. So at the end, when he's waving the stick around and he gives that nice little speech, well, had a nice life, 760, and he's gurning a bit. Tom usually can save moments like that, and I thought he was going to, but he didn't. It was rubbish. So that's the out-and-out bad thing.
And can we just make an extra note that Romana doesn't do anything or add anything at any point?
Elizabeth has pointed out that Romana doesn't do or add anything. Not only that, but Romana's stupid at the end, because the Doctor's shouting, don't go over to the window. She says, I can go over to the window, and then it was a bad idea to go to the window. And I also didn't like it when the Doctor said at the end of episode 2, start of episode 3, something like, that means I have even less time than I thought. Now, he wouldn't have said that with Sarah around. With Sarah around, a human, it would have been we. But Romana, who's supposed to be a companion on his peer like no other, on his level, sorry, a peer like no other, it's I. So poor old Romana. I think in the same way that Leela's sort of stock fell off and off as things went on, poor old Romana one, I just don't feel has got the chops here. And it's a real pity because I like Mary Tam, but there we go. But everything in this story is lacklustre. So I'm trying to buy into the Swampies, but they are just men in green makeup with stupid wigs.
I like the Swampies.
You like the Swampies?
Yeah, they're people who live in a swamp. They're making the best of a bad situation. And they're all green.
Yeah, but they just look bad. I don't buy into it.
I don't think they look bad.
No, you're all right with the Swampies.
Yeah.
Rome Dutt is an accent in search of a character. You see, that could work. Like, he could be the Sablon Glitz of his day, but no, flat as anything. The dudes in the refinery, I mean, it was sad when K9 got killed, obviously, and I quite liked Doug, and he was good. The lead guy, his death was nothing, and the revelation that he's actually bought the guns for this, that and the other, that just gets lost in the melee.
I just thought that was really obvious though as well.
You thought it was obvious?
Yeah.
Well, whether it was obvious or not, it was just buried, deep buried. And Philip Maddock, oh my God, one of the best guest actors to ever appear in Doctor Who, with 2 iconic roles to his name, deserved much better here. Much, much better. The sets were just poor. I'm sure the window in the torture scene was already leaking. Oh, the Doctor making that awful squealing noise.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm going to have nightmares.
That was terrible. That was really terrible. No, that's a typical, oh, look, I can do this wacky thing once. Like when Matt Smith could talk to babies, but at least that was funny. Why couldn't Romana have done that? Like, that could have been a moment where Romana saved the day.
Stop shouting.
I'm sorry, I'm just upset. I think it's a real pity. And then, I mean, the idea that the key to time has caused this to happen, that could be made to work, but there's been no through lines through any of the stories what the key to time can actually do. It's not reflected on enough. Lib said, "Where's the key to time?" Like, I knew obviously because I'm a nerd. It's a real
I
shame.
think you're just in a grump.
No, I'm not. I am
think
tired.
You should definitely preface this with the fact that you are tired.
I am tired, and that's fair. Busy weekend. I think the other thing to say though is this: I am getting increasingly concerned with the length of time Tom Baker's been the Doctor. And we're going to talk about this later.
Can you just say hi to Humphrey in case he watches?
Yes, hi to Humphrey, who's annoyed that he's not got his guest starring role in this. Hi, Humph. Love you, man. We need to talk about this later, but Tom's Doctor has now been around. Is this his 5th season? Ooh, 5th season, and we're just relying now. A lot of that story is just relying on the charisma of Tom Baker. And let's be honest, he's got a lot of it to go around. He's like the Rock of Doctor Who, or the Rock's Doctor of Wrestling, or whatever, Tom Baker of Wrestling. It's a lot to ask of a character. And he's revelling in it, and even that gurning bit at the end with this story was just poor. Yeah, fandom's right on this one. It just didn't hit the mark for me. What a pity. What a shame. Onwards and upwards. Bye-bye.